Hi guys, it is July 15th, and it's a Monday, so it's a little bit earlier than I usually make my videos. I usually make them the day I have therapy, but today's just been a really good day, and there's just been a lot on my mind that I wanted to share. One of the things that I've felt prompted to share is the way people look when they have eating disorders, because I've had a lot of people say to me that they would never have thought I had an eating disorder, because that's better. I'm not. When you think of anorexics, you think of like really, really emaciated people and like bones sticking out all over, and I'm not as emaciated as a lot of people with anorexia, and so I just kind of want to put the word out there that just because someone may not look like they have an eating disorder doesn't mean that they don't. You have to be so careful with eating habits and stuff like that. And that's been a frustrating thing, because I know that girls get discharged from the center. Like, when I say the center, I mean the Center for Change. Or if I say CFC, that's what it is. Anyway. So, I know that girls get discharged from the center at a lower weight than what I'm at right now. And that can be frustrating, honestly. So, I have to remind myself too that just because I don't look as emaciated as some people, and just because I'm not 80 pounds, doesn't mean that I don't have a problem. Like I said, today has been a good day, especially body image. Body image, I don't know what the deal is, but today has been a really good day, which is kind of a relief because it's not been so great. For a long time, it hasn't been that great. The last couple days have been especially hard. But today has just been overall a pretty decent day. Like, I didn't have the anorexic thoughts. And just overall, I have more hope for recovery. Like, I'm sick of being exhausted all the time. And it's going to be a lot of fun not tired all the time because my body is changing and things are just up and down, And so my body has to get used to having food and functioning like a normal body. Having an eating disorder is not glamorous at all. It's just like you get this nasty hair all over your body. It's disgusting. Your joints hurt all the time. Oh, at least mine do. That's a very common thing. You bruise really easy. So like my legs always have bruises on them, and I never know where they come from. It's because it's a lack of protein. You can't go like 5 minutes without thinking about food. Headaches all the time. You get constipated. That sucks. Because more like when you're restricting, you just don't have bowel movements, but it's not really constipation. You just don't poop because there's nothing in your system. And then when you start refeeding or eating again, then you get super constipated, and that sucks, and you get super gassy, and yeah, it's pretty gross. There's nothing glamorous about having an eating disorder. The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about was intuitive eating, because I go to a balanced mindful eating group on Mondays, and it's really focused on intuitive eating and intuitive movement, and that's what the center focuses on, is intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is eating what your body craves, and when it craves it, and stopping when you're full, like comfortably full, not like I'm gonna burst a gasket full. And one of the things I learned today that I'd never thought about before is that Americans put a moral value on food, that there's good food and bad food, and that is a symptom of an eating disorder, is you have your good food and bad food, or your safe foods, and that just creates a lot of problems. And when they're replacing school lunches with healthier options, it's not really an option. You're just giving them the healthy food. And we can't label food as healthy or unhealthy. It's balance. So we got this paper today that talked about intuitive eaters, so I'm just going to read it because it's really good stuff. It says, intuitive eaters have lower BMIs than individuals who scored low on the intuitive eater spectrum. So that's interesting, because when you think of eating disorders, obviously most people think of emaciated people, and obviously their BMI is lower, but then there's also the binge eating, overeating side of it too. So obviously their BMIs are higher, but we learned BMI really is only for assessing your risk for disease. That's all BMI is. Intuitive eaters have lower levels of fat in their blood, which means your heart is working better. There's a reduction of overall risk for heart disease, which is a big thing, especially for women, because it's like the #1 killer of women or something like that. They have a higher body satisfaction without internalizing the westernized thin ideal. So they don't obviously focus on being thin. They're satisfied with who they are. They have higher self-esteem, higher satisfaction with life, and those are two things I do not have. I don't know if I've ever really had any self-esteem, but having satisfaction with life is something I really want. And I do want to have more self-esteem. More likely to cope proactively versus reactively. Better body awareness. They trusted their body's internal cues of hunger and fullness. So they weren't just aware when they were hungry and when they were full. They thought, okay, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat this. This is what my body is telling me I want. So I'm going to eat this, but then they can stop when they're full, and they can trust that their body is correct and it knows what it's doing. For teens, they have a better mood, which I'm not a mom, but I know moms out there would like to have teens that have a better mood. They ate a wider variety of food, had no association with intuitive eating and junk food consumption, which means they ate balanced. Because like, if you eat a brownie one day, it's not going to make you gain 5 pounds, and that's something that they can really grasp. Increased pleasure in eating, which is a symptom, it's a problem with an eating disorder, is there is no pleasure at all in eating. There is psychological well-being, including optimism, which optimism is good. Psychological hardiness, an indicator of resilience or the body's ability to recover from adversity. Unconditional self-regard, which means that they love themselves no matter if they step on the scale, if their weight's gone up, whatever. Which kind of also brings me to something. When people go on diets, the first 3 pounds they lose is water and glycogen. and that can fluctuate up to 5 pounds every day. So, and glycogen is like, it's a carb sugar kind of a thing that's like stored in your muscles, and when your body uses all that up, then it starts attacking your muscles, and then when you start eating again, it will build the glycogen back up, and then you've just gained that weight back. So it's just an interesting fact about weight. Totally off topic. Anyway, intuitive eaters are more likely to have a positive disposition, which is good because people like to be around other people that are positive, and they have better social problem solving, and that is really important, I think, as well. There's a book that they suggest you read when time is appropriate when you're recovering from an eating disorder. It's called Intuitive Eating, which is ironic because it was meant for chronic overeaters, but the principles are the same. So you need to reject the diet mentality, honor your hunger, make peace with food, challenge the food police, and food police is like the voice in your head that can tell you that that's a good food or a bad food, or people around you that are like, watching what you eat kind of thing. Respect your fullness, so that kind of is the overeating thing. Discover the satisfaction factor, honor your feelings without using food, which most people think of like comfort foods. They have their comfort foods and they just overeat, but you can use it the opposite way and not eat to mask your emotions. So respect your body. And it said exercise and feel the difference, but we changed it to intuitive movement. So not running because you feel like you have to, but doing exercise you actually want to do, and honor your health. So those are important things in recovery. And so right now I am really positive about my recovery, and I hope to stay this way because it feels good. So don't forget to subscribe. I love making these videos. It's a good outlet for me. And comment if you have questions or if you want me to talk about something else. I'm more than willing to do that. So thanks.